Hi SourceFedNerd Anime Club, it's me Jenny aka ClassyLibrarian, and this week's anime was Blue Exorcist. And my quick review for this was, for me personally, I really enjoyed it. It's a relatively short, very fun series. It's got some relatively good action, it's got a heart to it, and I think that's what I really enjoyed about it. That heart may or may not be connected to the fact that the main character is also a non-identical twin who is technically the older but has been considered the younger, both physically and mentally, all their lives. That may or may not have a connection to me personally, but there we go. I really enjoyed this, and if I were to recommend this to a specific group, I would almost consider recommending this to people who are unfamiliar with anime or have thought about getting into it but have been a bit hesitant, because there's a lot of themes within this that are very recognisable and very accessible for a Western audience. Most notably, I think if you are a fan of series like Supernatural, if you loved Season 5, I believe, of Supernatural with the whole Satan plotline, you will probably really enjoy this series because you can almost like exchange sequences with Supernatural. It's definitely the theme of brotherly affection and of exorcism and demon possession is very prominent and very Western, and it's very well put together in this that if you like Supernatural you'd probably enjoy this series. Other things that make it very accessible, as I said, it's relatively short, and the action sequences are very good, but they're kind of grounded in a way. They are of course anime, but it feels almost more like a fantasy rather than just straight anime fight sequences. It's not flying into the air 20 feet and then hovering there, having an entire internal monologue which is half said, half thought about revenge and your entire backstory, and then slashing your sword so fast that they don't even notice that they're dead. It's not like that. It's much more grounded in an odd sense of fantasy reality, if that makes any sense. It's not anime reality, it's definitely fantasy. So it steps it back into a sort of grounded way. That follows through with the direction, with the art style, which is definitely anime, but it's more realistic than some of the ones. It's not gorgeously beautiful in places. There are characters that have imperfections, which is sometimes a sight that you don't really see. There is a kind of reality to it. And it's not too over-the-top cartoony. They're, you know, basic human builds with a nice variation between builds. So I do like that it's not standardised. It's got this sense of reality. Similarly, I like the music. The music's got a really nice combination of really classic sort of set you in the moment musical orchestral themes, particularly at the beginning where they have a lot of stuff to do with the you know, organ music, because it's all about exorcism, and then it kind of varies throughout, which I really like. I like pretty much everything about this series. It's, as I said, very short. I marathoned through it in 2 nights. I really like the characters. I love the heart of the story, the brotherly affection. I like that the characters are very realistic in their own way. I like that Shimi has a really nice character progression from this, from a very shy homeschool girl through to a very powerful character, even though there is some damsels dressed up in the middle, which kind of bugged me. But she does progress really well, and I really like her character. Also the girl bullying that happens in this, which is very real to secondary school. It grounds this world in something that's very recognisable, at least for me. So I really like that. I also, for people who are not very into anime and don't really understand it, there isn't that much over-the-top fan service in terms of gender sexualization, which is something that definitely appealed to me. They kept it very minimal. There's one beach sequence, but they do keep it very minimal throughout. And there's one female character who, you know, there are boob shots because she is voluptuous, but it feels more like her character would choose to dress like that rather than the director just wanted some more breasts in his series and that's why he chose this character design. It felt more like her character would choose to dress like that, and, you know, it made me feel oddly empowered in a good way, instead of what I usually feel when there's just non-stop boob shots and I just feel a bit icky. So I really like that. I like the characters. I think if you haven't watched any anime before, you might be a little bit put off by the professor character, who is so very anime, and he's in there right from the end of the episode 1. But if you can get past his character, then it's a very nice steady progression from a very recognisable mythology of exorcism and religion versus demons, through to a more Shinto-esque other world sort of vibe where you've got demigods and spirits, not just necessarily demons as an evil entity. There's a lot of nice, it starts off very black and white and then progresses into grey. I loved all of it. I definitely, the heart of the story appealed to me, maybe more than it should have done, but I did really enjoy it. If you like supernatural, you'll probably enjoy this. If you're not used to anime, give this a go, see how you feel. You may or may not like it. If you don't like fantasy action things, then you won't like this regardless. And that's my review. I'm sorry if I've been very cyclical and have gone on and on forever, but there we go. Feel free to leave comments down below and follow the hashtag somewhere in the description and in the title to look at other people's reviews. And that's about it. I will see you guys all next week. Bye guys.